rid of the red, white, and blue meat. He is going to be Princeton burnt orange through and through. Byron will be a freshman at Princeton this fall. He's been one of our longest standing members of our program. He started here, he was a 7 or 8 year old, 5 year old. The better part of the last 11 years. And a lot of this trivial fact you don't know, some of you may not know, Byron skipped 3rd grade. He's a 16-year-old graduating senior. He'll be a 16-year-old freshman at Princeton. And he just turned 17 a month ago, so still a baby. And just so you know that he's the dummy in the family. He's got 2 brothers who also are Ivy Leaguers, both Harvard. One is almost done with his doctoral work. He has enough time to go do Tai Chi in China. That's how advanced he is right now. But Byron has come a long way. He's been one of those kids who's always, he gets a little sick, and then he swims off, and he goes through a growth spurt. He doesn't swim so well, and then he gets awesome. And every group and every coach who's had an opportunity to work with him have positive things to say about Byron. For me, it's simple. He's one of our true team leaders. He's a great young man. He made the trials cut last summer at Junior Nationals in the 200 breaststroke. And again, I think the upside for Byron is limitless. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the collegiate years go for Byron. All right, she's a pretty good swimmer. Nice person. There's been plenty said about her, so I'm not going to go into all the stats, 12 out of 13, what the trial stats fall. Everybody who knows and have kind of read up about Jasmine are kind of familiar with that sort of stuff. For me, what sticks out about Jasmine is that she is a very conscientious athlete. She really wants to be the best athlete she can be. She tries things both in and out of the pool. And you got to realize, at the level of all of these guys are at, they're training 9 times a week, in excess of 20 or 30 hours a week. Most of these kids, if not all of them, are on honor roll. I think a couple of them might even be 4.0 students. But very conscientious about wanting to be good. If there's things she can do nutritionally, if there's things she can do physically in terms of like yoga or other things, she's willing to try it to give herself an opportunity. A lot of you have heard that she's probably our best chance at making the Olympic team. I don't look at it that way. I think she's our best chance at a bright future for United States swimming. If she makes this Olympic Games, that's fantastic. If she doesn't, she's got upwards of 2 more quadrenniums or 2 more Olympic cycles to do it. She's young. So in my mind, a lot of you young kids here, if you want to use sort of a template, she was, again, another one of our 7 and 8 year olds who started here, didn't wear caps for the longest time, had fried hair, no cap, had everything. She went through the whole spectrum of things that could happen in her team. But at 18, she's one of the best athletes on the planet. Pretty good.
Here it is.
Another one of our young wave kids coming through. He is a 16-year-old who will be a junior at St. Francis. Curtis has been involved with Palo over the years. He went away for a couple years and he just came back to our program this spring. A lot of you may not know him. He is probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest IMer for his age in the entire United States. He swam, and again, this is times he did with his coach, Abby Luke, who did a fantastic job with him. But if you focus for a minute on how fast he swam, he went a 400 IM in 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And some of you guys, you're too young, you haven't swam 400 IMs, you might even know how many laps a 400 IM is. But if you can imagine, just 10 years ago, he would have been a finalist at the NCAA championships. He would have been top 4 with his time as a 15. He did it as a 15-year-old this December. Multifaceted, multi-talented. I'm still trying to unravel the animal that is Curtis and try to figure out the best way that I can make him as good as he deserves to be. But I'm looking forward to that opportunity. So, now we're getting into our our AARP members here, Egan Gans. He's a 1975 graduate of Stanford University. He's a 2008. A couple of trivia facts. He used to come up here. He's originally from Santa Barbara. I don't know if that's original, but from where I knew him, he was from Santa Barbara. And when he came up here for school or off periods or to visit his mom, he would come and practice this. And I'll be honest, and I'm not saying this in any way to be slight him, I didn't think he was going to be as good as he ended up being. He swam things well, but as far as, and again, I'm trying to say this as honestly as I can. To the level that he's attained, if you would have asked me this in like 05 or 04 when he was visiting, I would have never said never, but I would have said, wow, that would be a surprise. And he's absolutely exceeded. And this is a young man who works for, again, this is out of my realm and scope, but he had to fly to the Ukraine, sorry, it's close. He had to fly to Ukraine to help launch a satellite for his company. Another stupid Stanford graduate, not making any use of his degree at all. But he's got a full-time job. He's a young professional, and he still found time to come back to something that he still has a passion for. And last year we were fortunate enough at a meet where he was able to do a lifetime best and make Olympic trials in the 200 breast, and he also made Olympic trials in the 100 breaststroke as well. So again, for a guy who's more in the real world than he is in the swimming world, I think we count it as a blessing that we've had him to help out our group over the last couple of years. Bernard Johnson. BJ is also a Stanford graduate, also 08, 09, and he is a PhD candidate at Stanford. So again, we got to work on getting our kids to be a little sharper, so we'll work on that aspect. I'm going to give you one quick trivia fact. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe Ted Knapp, who's now the head coach of Stanford, gave me this bit of information when he was an incoming freshman in 05. He is one of the few guys that I know who had a perfect score on his SAT on the old 1600 standard. So he scored a perfect on the old testing exam. He scored a perfect 1600. Not too bad, and he's a pretty good swimmer. Last year he had a breakout. He swam very well in college, and this is his first year with our program. But last year he swam really well at our nationals and did times that ranked him in the top 50 in the world. He has an outside shot at being a semifinalist and maybe even a finalist at Olympic trials. Once that happens, all bets are off. When you get into that level and that kind of racing, anything can happen. So, BJ Johnson. What I want to do really quick.
Wait, can you just stand to the side and we can take
Stand aside, yeah. I'll move.
No, you can stand in there, at the side, not in front of us. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.